Okay, so we're here to talk about the rise of the supermarketer, a new type of leader who really understands that today's challenges require integration between creativity, technology, and marketing strategy to really deliver on consumer demands and expectations today. These leaders aren't experts at just one thing. They don't just focus on one side of the coin. They're experts at pretty much everything, and at the same time have to drive collaboration internally and help their organizations to transform and evolve. So quite a lot on their plates. Adobe obviously has a long history of empowering transformation through technology. How would you say Adobe is specifically helping these supermarketers?
Sure, in a host of ways, but I think one of the most important ways that we're helping the supermarketers, and you have to own that term because
You do.
we work with you guys and you are a supermarketer. But one of the most important ways that we're helping is helping customers know their end consumers. So we're living in a very fickle time, and brand loyalty, as you know, is very hard. And just recently in your Havas study, I think there was a number that 74% of consumers wouldn't care if brands went out of business. I mean, that's hard. You're talking to the majority of the market that is really like, okay, I'll just move on. So how do you create that supermarketing to make sure that you don't fall into those 74% of people that could let brands go out of business, right? So what we really like to do is help brands understand customers, understand their journeys, and then optimize their re-engagements, right? Customers want to know that they are loved, they are known, and they're provided with content that's going to be interesting to them. So whether it's from a data perspective and we're collecting information on the consumer journey so that we can provide instruction on where to put the next step in that journey, or whether it's now on the creative side, because with AI, we have an opportunity in real time to generate creatives that makes the end customer feel known. So we're tailoring experiences for people that are working with your brands and buying from your brands and making them feel known and appreciated as a customer.
Yeah, that 74% stat is terrifying. And we say that all marketers should have it printed, maybe like framed on their desk to look at every morning and really drive everything they do. Because it's, it's got to be front of mind the whole time.
We should get the tattoos and hand them out when people come in.
I think it's the age of empowerment for consumers in that regard, and their expectations have never been higher. And that is why it is so important for us as marketers to align ourselves with similarly minded people in terms of agility, in terms of the ability to turn on a heel and create something net new. And it's why we're so excited about the partnership that we have with Havas and the very extensive partnership that we have with Adobe as well, who is helping us take charge of all of the incredible data that consumers give us as a hotel company, and to make sure that we are providing those very personalized experiences for them.
You talk about empowerment, right? And I think that's really the key point there. If people are giving you their data, they want to get something in return, and that something in return comes in giving them that tailored experience, right? And they don't want to wait until the next day or even the next hour. They want to register now, just like you just asked everyone to register for Wyndham, and they expect something in return.
The return piece, I think, is so critical, and there's such a huge opportunity from a loyalty perspective. Sarah very, very thoughtfully introduced Wyndham Rewards. It is our award-winning loyalty program that has more than 115 million loyalty members as part of it. Now, what the heck do you do when you have that many people who are participating in the loyalty program? It's why we're doing CJA. It's why we're doing this journey orchestration, because we want to make sure that whatever the journey state is, whatever stage people are in terms of their travel booking, whether or not they are even part of our rewards program, that we can be there with them with a message, with a compelling offer for them, to get them to come and stay with us, not just once, but to come back and stay with us again is the ultimate goal.
It's a great segue into talking a little bit more about you and your role. And you're going to hate me doing this, but I have the pleasure of working with Marissa almost every day. And she would never call herself this. And as you heard, she doesn't like the term, but she absolutely is a super marketer. She has skills across the entire marketing ecosystem. And actually was in her role for what, 3 months before you called an integrated pitch? You looked at how it was working, went, no, this is not good enough. We need all these skill sets together. We need real integration to really push the brand where it needs to be today. Can you tell us a bit more about your role and how it has evolved over the last few years?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been at Wyndham for 16 or 17 months now, and really I was brought in to drive disruption in our marketing efforts because of everything that we're talking about here right now, this idea that everything that we have known as marketers, all of the processes that we have followed have changed. And as a hotel company, we invest quite a bit in technology. We've invested more than, I think you probably know this better than anyone, more than $300 million in technology over the past 6 years, which is no small amount, yes. But we're doing that because we recognize the importance of creating a frictionless experience for our guests. We're also 100% franchised as an organization. So similar to the guest experience, we want our owners to have a seamless experience. We want to make it easier for them, which is why we are investing so heavily in technology. We've launched something called Wyndham Connect, which actually is a virtual AI assistant that allows days before you check in to help make sure that you have everything that you need to have the best possible experience when you arrive. You can bypass the check-in desk entirely. We were first to do it in the economy and mid-scale space. So huge investment in technology. My job is to make sure that the investment that we're making, all of the things that we are learning about our guests and prospective guests, is translating all the way down, not just to our owned platforms, but to our consumer-facing marketing efforts as well.
Just a few things. Just a few things there.
I did say exhausting, but exciting.
Okay, we're going to talk a bit more about customer experience. And I'm going to start this with an audience question. Who here in the room has ever ordered an Uber and been annoyed when it is 6 minutes away? Yes. Pretty much all of us, right? So, I love this example because we are marketers, but we're also consumers. And I think it's a great way of demonstrating how our expectation of brands and immediacy is higher than it's ever been before. Arthur, talk to us a bit about this. Why is this happening? Why is this shift? And what can we as marketers do about it?
Yeah, again, the customer sophistication. I mean, I think your example of the app experience that's anticipatory has become, an expectation for most users. CX is at the core. I think it's the key differentiator for the best brands when they get that right. And the flexibility, the fluidity to be able to change that experience based on who is visiting that entity. And the fact that that's cross-channel and in-store. The technology has caught up to allow us to do these sorts of things. So the competitive space is very crowded. There are multiple challenger brands probably being birthed daily. So, you have to stand out, and how you can stand out is what's within your control, which is that experience that isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's an experience that's tailored and curated for each individual. Even if you can get the segments right, you got a fighting chance of being very successful. So, selfishly, because I work within the CX group, but I believe that UX and experience and frictionless, seamless experiences across channel are critical to brand survival.
Yeah. And Denise, how do customer journey analytics play into this?
So they're critical.
Yep.
And, you were talking about how, there's so many brands being birthed, right? And I think of it as noise. And customers, as I said earlier, they want to feel known, right? But it's not enough to just know them. So journey analytics are great, but it's not just about mapping the journey and understanding, but what do you do next, right? So Adobe's journey orchestration allows you to really create a transformative experience, an experience that elicits emotion, right? Because you have to rise above the noise as a brand and be memorable. It's not just enough to shuffle everyone through the checkout process or the ordering an Uber process, but how do you make it so after that process, someone says, oh, wait, that was good, I should do that again, right? So journey orchestration is table stakes. What Adobe really adds value with is the data that comes out of that, and then how we use that data to create the next best step.